ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। तपोभिक्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्ष्योऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। Mm. So as last month in our class, so far in fact over a couple of months, we have studied up to 32nd verse of Atma Bodha. We have completed 32nd verse. What is the content of the text Atma Bodha? The knowledge of Atman, the self. So, through Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, and Mukshutva, these fourfold qualifications, we must try slowly and steadily learn the nature of this consciousness, separate myself from the upadhis. This is the procedure. This is the process where to know who I am really. That's the purpose. So in the last shlokas, we were told in 31st and 32nd, the essence is what? This shariram, avidyakam shariradi drishyam budbhudavat ksharam. Now, entire is from the body to causal body, physical body up to causal body. All these things are like budbhudavat ksharam, like bubbles. They are only for kshanikam, ksharam. It's a small, I just play in my consciousness in front of me, play for some time, and then dissolve in the ocean. They disappear. Etad vilakshanam vidyat aham. So I should be known to be somebody completely, totally different from the Panchakoshas. What are the Panchakoshas? Annamaya, Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Koshas. 5 sheets, personality sheets. So this is the procedure. So therefore, what is that now? I am Deha Anyatvat Name Janma Jara Karshalayadayaha. Because I am, first of all, first Shariram Nasti Aham. I am not the body. Because before birth, I was without the body, physical body. After leaving the body, also this body, I will become again bodiless. Physical body will not be there with me. But I continue to exist. So therefore, body has janma, body has senility, body gets wrinkled, body will die. In fact, if we can meditate upon the unbroken existence of ourselves, I am there. Continuously that I is there. In all transactions of the day, throughout the day, this aham, not the parichinna limited ego I, everybody is experiencing that capital I, Shuddha aham. Therefore, Shabdadi Vishayaihi Sangha Nirindritayana. And one more thing is, because I am not this physical body, I have nothing else to do. I have no association with the sense objects and sense organs, etc. Therefore, I am without the Nirindriyataya nacha. And now the Neti Neti starts. So I am not the Shariram. I am not the Pranamaya Shariram. Now comes what? I am not Manomaya Shariram. See, friends, one thing I'll just tell you, please listen carefully. All these thoughts that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. First of all, we must understand with the help of Shastra how and why I am not all these. First of all. But unless I awaken myself to another dimension of consciousness, as Gurudev puts it, mere knowledge that of course I learned no, I learned that I am not the body. But the body's pain will be there, I experience it. So the when the knowledge is there that I am not the physical body, I accepted the teachings of the Guru. I also accepted the teachings of the Shastras. Shastras only were told to me by my Guru. All fine. But when something happens to physical body or something happens to mind, some problem with our people or situation, circumstances, both the body is affected and mind is affected. So, therefore, the Bhagavan will tell you in the coming slokas that unless we discover our presence, which we are already that, but we are not awakened to that. Unless we awaken ourselves to that dimension of consciousness, Shravana and Manana is done. But that has not come to experience that particular understanding thoroughly. Therefore, the sadhana will have to be continued, lot of meditations, nididhyasana has to be continued. So if you stop only by listening to scriptures and forgetting about that knowledge, the knowledge has to be applied. So all those enlightened masters, they were enlightened because of the application of the knowledge that they have gained from their teachers. They applied it continuously without giving any chance for the mind to slip again into the world of samsara. Transactions continue, you play your roles, but awareness is not lost. So everybody is already enlightened. Upanishads say about it. Mahatmas speak about it. That you are already enlightened. Anyone, everyone. Brahmadi stamba stamba paryantam, or kitaka paryantam. All right, sorry. So then the knowledge, we don't know. That knowing is possible only in human birth. So once I rediscover my existence, naked existence, now I'm experiencing with all my clothes over it, the body, the mind, the intellect. So I put lot of weight and I identify with it. I'll give an example. Maybe may not be a perfect example, but it will make you some sense, give you some meaning to it. See, when what do you call, when somebody is hospitalized with a some fracture in the leg, heavy fracture in the leg, and for that purpose, what they did was, he was plastering was done, and the plastering was so thick, this much thick it was over the leg, and he's a thin structure, thin man, and eventually about 2 3 months the pasture has to be there, 6 weeks or 8 weeks, sometimes 10 weeks. Now initially you will feel that heavy weight of the leg because of bandage, and over a period of time he gets used to that. Psychologically he will adjust himself to that weight. Suppose right leg, so weight of the right leg is this much, he psychologically will adjust. In the first beginning it will be very uncomfortable for say 4 5 days, 1 week or so. Later on he will psychologically accept the weight and adjust to the particular weight of the right leg, very because of the band-aid. Invariably it happens when after say 8 weeks or 10 weeks or 12 weeks, whatever time, depending on the injury, when the band-aid has been removed, for some time he may feel that he has no leg at all. Look, leg is there, but leg is so weightless he feels, as though it is not there. So far identified with himself with the band-aid, the weight of the band-aid also is registered in the psyche, and he continues to bear that. Similarly, in our case, though I am Nirguna Swarupaha, I am very freed from all this because of my identification with the Upadhi, Sukshma Upadhi and Sthula Upadhi. I don't know who I am without these Upadhis. Okay. So now we have to shed the weight. That's why Mahatmas call it as load shedding. Load is identifications, attachments, vasanas. We have to shed them one by one, one by one, one by one. So we must use the vehicle but not identify with it. Don't claim that it is me. So constantly I must be aware that I am functioning through the body mind intellect complex. I am vilakshanaha. I am other than these three. Unless we develop that thought deeply and meditate on it, and slowly realize also that we are not this, we will not be able to awake ourselves to the plane of consciousness, as it is called. And we will not be able to know who we really are. And not knowing who we really are, our samsara continues. Samsara means not wife and husband, children, but living in the realm of dualities, living in the realm of illusions, living in the realm of projections, living in the realm of various apprehensions, all born out of psychological fears. So, in our life, our sadhana should be how to, of course, use these equipments, but how not to claim them as to be me or mine. Neither they are me, nor neither they are mine nor me. This transformation requires persistent sadhana. I think I told you enough introduction. So now we should say that we are now, we have to know, Shankaracharya says this body cannot be you. Pranamaya Sharira is not you. No, mind it comes in 33rd verse. अमनस्त्वात्म मे दुःख राग द्वेष भयादयः अप्राणो ह्यमना शुभ्रः इत्यादि श्रुति शासनात्. Very beautiful. अमनस्त्वान्न मे दुःख राग द्वेष भयादयः. Now Atma is free from the mind also. Amanastvat. See, whatever we say, agitations are there. In fact, if suppose there is no mind, there is no dukkham. So sukham and dukkham, raga, dvesha, dukkha, these three pain will give us. They give us pain to mind. But they're all located in mind. Amanastvat. But who am I? I am freed from the mind. Amanastvat. I am not the mind. Because ragam, dvesha, that is attachment, aversions, and also sorrows, they are all pertaining to the realm of mind. I may experience it, that's okay. I may experience it. But I must inquire. All, even though they are unreal, even though they are in the mind and not me, I continue to experience them. That is Maya. And I continue to reap pain and sorrow out of it. That is Maya. So amanastvat, because of not being the mind, name dukkha raga dvesha bhayadayaha. There is no sorrow, there is no attachment, there is no aversion or dvesha, hatred, bhaya, there is no fear. This won't go as long as we are not, we understood, okay, as I am not the body, mind, intellect, understood. We may accept it also. But yet the real shift in consciousness has not taken place. The shift is not taken place. Shift is only rooted in the body and mind. The consciousness rooted in the body and mind. Therefore, Shankaracharya quotes Upanishad, Mandakopanishad mantra it is. दिव्यो ह्यमूर्तो पुरुषः सब्रह्म बाह्याभ्यन्तरो ह्यजः अप्राणो ह्यमनः शुभ्रः यक्षरात् परतः परः. मुंडकोपनिषद. अप्राणो से दिव्यो ही अमूर्त पुरुषः. मुंडकोपनिषद मंत्र. And third line is quoted here. अप्राणो ही हमनाः शुभ्रः इत्यादि श्रुति शासनात्. श्रुति वाक्यम in मुंडकोपनिषद. Who am I? He says, then the mantra in Mundokopanishad says, Divyaha, he and them Divyas, the Atma is Divya Swarupaha, Amurtaha. Amurtaha means what? Stula Sharira Rahitam. The Amurta, Murti is form. Amurtaha, Atma is Amurtaha. Amurtam means what? Atma is freed from, is different from Stula Shariram. It is, there is no Stula Shariram for Atma. Then saha bahya abhyantarahya. Therefore, since it is amurtam, we listen carefully. Since it has no murti means shape and size, etc. Anything which is shape and size, limited dimension. Because it is amurtam, it is akashavat sarvavyaptam. It is all pervading like space. When you bring a dimension to it, length, breadth, color, shape, size, etc., then it is limited. Therefore, saha bahya abhyantaraha. It is inside and outside of everything. Ajaha and birthless. What is birth? Identification with the form. Something beginning. The form you take, we have all taken bodies. It had a beginning. It will have an end. Ajaha is what? There is no birth. It is Swayambhu. It is always there. This is what Bhagavan Shankara Krishna again and again told to Arjuna, that don't worry, you are eternal. Only thing is you don't know that, that's it. You are identifying with the body and claims to be an individual and is worried of death, etc. But actually speaking, you are that infinite. Ajaha. Aprano hi amanaha. Here also textbook. Aprano hi amanaha shubhraha. Three things have come. Apranaha meaning Sukshma Sharira Rahitam. Amanaha Sukshma Sharira Rahitam. Aprano hi amanaha shubhraha. Shubhraha means what? Freed from Karna Shariram. Freed from Karna Shariram. So therefore, Aksharat Paratah Paraha. It is beyond the Parataha Aksharat. Mula Prakriti. This is a beautiful thing. Give me 15 seconds break. I'm just setting that book properly. Aksharat Parataha Paraha. So therefore, this is very clearly said that you are beyond the mind. Therefore, there is no raga, there is no sorrow, there is no dvesha. So the sadhana is what now? Sadhana is very important. What is sadhana? Sadhana is They are in me, I am not in them. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Krishna said. Gurudev used to explain this so beautifully. They are in me, I am not in them. So I am so vast. So they may float in my mind. Raga, Dvesha, Bhaya, the thoughts. Who is accommodating them? I am. What are they like? Like clouds. I'm giving some tips for meditation. We had some special class 3 4 days back, and not in for our internal some group is there, so we just had discussions, and one fellow told me on the in the um, Google Meet we meet. So he said, Swamiji, nowadays I'm practicing and it is working very well. I appreciated him. It's a very good, beautiful sadhana. He says, I am observing all my emotions. Suppose I get angry, he told me, I get angry sometimes with my father's behavior. I get angry. When I get angry, the anger thought arises. Immediately I become aware. I see it as a cloud rising, and I imagine that cloud is like just dissolving. I meditate, immediately I become aware and see that the cloud dissolves and just disappears in space. And it is working very well, he said. Because I am much, much bigger than them. I don't want all these anger, greed thoughts. So I become aware and I dissolve. Beautiful thought. So, what do we do normally? Emotions come, raga, dvesha. Either we express or we suppress. Expression is reactions. Either we react to any perception or we suppress it. Both the ways, the vasana is created, strengthened, it is not released. Suppression, sometimes suppression may work temporarily, but after some time it may burst out. Suppose you got angry. At that moment, you want to show anger on your elders. It is not good to shout on elders, whatever they are, maybe. So, what do you do? So, at that time, you suppress the anger. Okay, should not be there. You suppress the anger. When you suppress the anger, that may you may feel that yes, you control the anger, suppress the anger, you have escaped. But then what happens? That energy, that what you suppress the energy, it remains in you. So it gathers. It is still there. That potential bomb is there. So it tries to watch out for any opportunity to explode. See, so I control my anger on my elder, but then my son or brother or sister or somebody doing nonsense, I could show my anger on them. So this energy is released on them. So masters say, the great masters, spiritual masters say that sometimes suppression may protect you. Like anger suppressed against somebody mighty person is good for you. But you have to work out on that later on, how to dissolve that energy. So therefore they say neither you express nor you suppress, you face the energy. Very subtle point. You face the energy as it rises in you and become extremely aware of that energy. without doing any action, suppression or reaction, that energy floats in your mind. Because it is not getting any response, it just dissolves and disappears. But the problem is with all of us, with raga, dvesha, when they rise so quickly that our awareness is looted. We are not aware. Sudden outburst. That time when the cloud is forming, and just it bursts out. So it doesn't give me any chance or time to observe. Therefore, I become an animal. Gurudev used to give example wolf, or Gurudev used to say example of dog. Gurudev used to say a dog says like one day dog was told the owner. The owner asked the dog, said, "Why are you doing all this? Wherever you go, you are inspired to pee." The dog said, "No, no. Whenever I see a pole, I get inspiration." So the dog said, "It seems I felt it like doing it. I did it." Then Gurudev would say, "Is it not so many people reply same way? I felt it like doing it, I did it." Then what is the difference he would say? Gurudev used to say, what is the difference? Therefore, this our awareness should be so high that, and then only I can say, this mind is not me. This mind is not me. Beautiful. So therefore, I am who I am. I am not Sthula Shariram. I am not Sukshma Shariram. This requires long practice. So therefore, so many people complain. Our elders also, children complain against elders at home that kya fayda, Gita sun ke aayi ho, or you came home after listening to that spiritual talk, but then no change in you. And some people tell me, Swamiji, you attend all your talks, but in the house, his anger is not lost, this is not lost, that is not lost. I sympathize. It's compassion is required. It's not easy to conquer. I tell them it's not easy to conquer. It's not a magic to grow. The magic application नहीं होता है यहाँ पे. So therefore, here Shankaracharya says clearly, as per the Shruti Shashana, as per the scriptures, as scriptures declare, you are not the mind also. So how to establish ourselves slowly that we are not the mind? Bringing with awareness, bringing a lot of awareness and observing the mind. They are in me, I am not in them. Natvaham teshu te mayi, natu aham teshu te mayi. Bhagavad Gita. Okay. I think I spent sufficient time on this shloka because very important it is to know the how do we slowly experience that this is not me. That awareness one day will take you to the higher dimension of consciousness. Nirguno nishkriyo nityo nirvikalpo niranjanaha nirvikaro nirakaro nitya muktosmi nirmalaha. Beautiful thing. So now, here he says, then who I am? I am nirgunaha. Nirgunaha. Now here Nididhyasana started. Shravanam, Mananam is over. Nididhyasana started. Why? Because I heard Shravanam and Mananam is what? Mananam is what? Doubts are all removed in Mananam. Nissamshaya Jnanam. Samshayam as removed. So Shravanam, Ajnanam is removed. Ajnanam is the particular topic. Ignorance is removed of the pertinent subject. Mananam removes the doubts. Samshayam is removed because of Mananam. And then Nididhyasana is what? Nididhyasana is Viparita Bhavana will be removed. Because even after Mananam, that Viparita Bhavana, that is, okay, I heard I am not the body, mind and intellect, that's okay. But My bhavana is not gone. I'm still rooted in the body. I'm convinced, no doubt about it. But practically handy, it is not yet come. Therefore, nirgunaha, first of all, nirgunaha. I am attributeless. It's contemplation. And nishkriyaha. I am actually every one of us is nishkriya. Actually speaking, all of us are nishkriya only. No actions. Why? If you observe, there is actionless witness, the spirit, the consciousness is always there. We just have to focus there, and there is something constantly illumining all the actions of the mind, indriyas, sharira, etc. But that consciousness in itself or by itself is actionless. We just have to focus our attention there. Even when I'm talking or when you are listening also, as Gurudev says, part of awareness can be shifted high. A classic example given by a great Mahatma, people ask in Sansara with so much of difficulty, life is full of challenges, problems for everyone. For everyone, there are so many challenges, so many problems. How to face them? So, in this present life of this kind of busy life and etc., where can we find time to focus our mind on divinity? Whole energy is being sapped away. A great master gave an example. He said, when you are driving a car, how much attention you give to the driving? And total mind is not involved there because your mind is thinking, your mind is talking on telephone, perhaps your mind is calculating, your mind is responding. So you are not only driving, a part of awareness is placed there, and that part of that awareness is taking care of driving. Even that part also goes away, then only accident takes place. So I keep a part of my mental awareness on the function called driving. I listen to music, I eat something in between, I keep munching or chewing. The driving goes on. So a part of awareness is required. Mental. Similarly, what you are doing rest of the mind? Similarly, a small part attention is required to maintain all the works in the world outside. Total mind need not be disturbed. The only thing is if we train, so major portion of the mind is free. It is living in peace. Only superficial mind is involved in all the activities of the world efficiently. So I am nishkriyaha. Spirit is actionless. And nityaha. Nitya means eternal I am. As I told you, unbroken existence is always there. Eternal. Nirvikalpaha. No vikalpas, no thoughts, no agitations, no dirt. Who? In me, in the real consciousness. But I put all the mental dirt on me, thinking that I am disturbed, I am like this. But it is all in the mind. They are in the mind, I am not in me. They are not in me. So they are in me, I am not in them. They may be there in me, in the mind, in consciousness, they may float. I am much, much above than them. Therefore, nirvikalpaha, niranjanaha, nirvikaraha, beautiful thing. Niranjanaha without any dirt, anjanam, anything taint, no taint. Nirvikara, without any change. No vikara. I'm always happy, always changeless. And nirakara, without any form. Like akashavat, like space, I'm pervading, all pervading. Nirakara, nitya muktaha, ever liberated, I'm never in bondage. So therefore, all people are already enlightened without exception. That is the declaration of the great masters and scriptures. There is neither sadhaka nor baddhaha nor muktaha. All that we need to do is we have to try sincerely to recognize who we really are. And nirmalaha asmi, I am pure. I am extremely pure. So this is the contemplation. I have to do nididhyasana in this. Who am I? Nirguno, nishkriyo, nityo, nirvikalpo, niranjana, nirvikaro, nirakaro, nityamuktosmi nirmalaha. But in living, so many problems are there, Swamiji. What to do? But this is the so many ways our masters have given us how to live. But for everything, our attachment alone is the cause. Suppose I wish all people should be happy. Good. No wrong in the wish. I want all of you to be healthy. No wish. No wrong in the wish. It should be like that. Sarve janaha sujana bhavantu. Sarve sujanaha sukhino bhavantu. That all people become good and all good people be happy. All that good desires are very nice. I want my son or daughter to understand me, understand what is life all about. I want them to have a spiritual outlook. Good, okay. Wish is good. But if they don't have that outlook, I am disturbed. I try to suggest, but they don't listen. So I can suggest and keep quiet, but that is not the way. I'm hell bent upon why they don't change. Whole life you suffer, and whole life they don't change. How long you can teach? Therefore, masters also, they have love, but they don't have attachment. We think attachment is love, but love is not attachment. Ultimately, what is happening? Whatever is their destiny and prarabdha vasana, that alone is happening, not your wish. So we are carrying extra sorrow in us that why things are not happening according to my way. No master is wishing that the world should be like this today. Pollution, deforestation, lack of sensitivity, ice melting in North Pole and so many the poles, and then um, ecological disturbances, environmental problems. So planet is at risk. You read When you see the documentaries, you will understand. Are we heading towards the total destruction of human race? People are questioning. Now, what can I do if I carry the worry? I can do my best. You can do your best. So, everything is in fluctuation. I must maintain who I am by regularly meditating. I am that. And when you recognize that you are that, then your very presence itself is a great blessing to the world around you. That is how we should lift ourselves up spiritually. Otherwise, we study scriptures and we are unable to apply or change, or there is no progress seen, then what is the result of all this study? More frustration. One who has not studied Bhagavad Gita is happy. One who studied Bhagavad Gita is unhappy. Why? No, no, गीता में बहुत कुछ बताया भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने, कुछ कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ मैं, कुछ कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ, इसके लिए उसका इस तरह का दुख ज्यादा है. अल्टीमेटली समझ, भाई तू गीता पढ़ने से पहले दुखी था क्या? वो दुख तो इतना ज्यादा नहीं, दुख गीता पढ़ने के बाद ज्यादा दुखी हो गया हूँ मैं. भगवान कृष्ण ने बहुत कुछ बता दिया, हमें दुख हो रहा है कि नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. तो अल्टीमेट लिखने में मैं मस्त में रहता हूँ, अच्छा हुआ मैं नहीं पढ़ा. The problem with us is that we wanted solutions. We don't apply Vedanta. So this application of it is what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is talking about in this book. Nididhyasana. We are studying it. We will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Satgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you, and thank you for extra 5 minutes.